Before we get into it, I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored by the Union of Students in Ireland Student Achievement Awards. The Student Achievement Awards are the annual opportunity for the student movement to recognise the contribution of students to college life and their community. There are 17 categories and the closing date for nominations is Friday, March 24th at 5 p.m. The awards are going to be held in April and actually I will be hosting them, so I'll see you there. To enter, go to usi.ie/awards and click on the nomination category you wish to enter. All links are in the description below on YouTube and in the show notes on SoundCloud. Alright, back to the episode. Hello and welcome to the Storytime Podcast.
Hi!
Thanks to Buddabag for the seats.
I am so comfortable
learning how to sit in them.
It feels like I'm floating on air.
I think the key is you need to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
So this week we have James Mitchell.
Hi!
So James Mitchell is obviously from James Mitchell TV.
So, like, I'm waiting for now the comment to be like, who? Like, every time one of our videos get featured in the journal.
Every time.
On the
oh my god,
page,
every time.
There's always one arsehole who's like, who? Never heard of him.
Well, at least when it's not as bad as the broadsheet when it's like, this Clisare wanker, does she fucking know someone in here to be one of her shitty videos again?
I once on Reddit had, whose dick did he suck? To which I created an account and replied, your dad's.
Oh, nice. So this week,
It's already
do you want to
begun.
say where they're going to find you online?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm on every social network under James Mitchell TV, and this March I'm starting a mental health series called Tea Time with 3 T's, Turn the Tide Against Suicide, and we are like vigorously campaigning for a suicide prevention authority, like in the same way that there's a road safety authority to prevent road accidents.
I'm actually shocked there isn't one.
I know, yeah. So
It's something I never think about. Till you just said it to me, I was like,
yeah.
you don't have?
Yeah, so myself and 3 T's have been working on this since like November, and it's going to be we're recording it next month, and it'll be up on my channel starting kind of mid to the end of next month.
Awesome, and all the links will be down in the description. By the time this is up, we'll be much closer to that.
Absolutely, yeah. Very exciting.
And that leads us quite nicely in because you were big in mental health when you were working as a student union politician. You were VP
Welfare.
Welfare, yeah. So I was welfare and education,
Yeah,
and
and
this is how we met actually.
Yeah, people think that we met through YouTube, and it's not the case. We knew each other for years.
Yeah, not the case. We met each other through working in different students' unions. So we actually met through the Union of Students in Ireland, USI. And then that's how we met. And then he started YouTube first, and then I started YouTube, and I asked him for advice. And that's how we got into YouTube together, not met on YouTube. And it's the same thing that people think myself and my other half met playing tag rugby, just because we both play it. We actually did not meet playing tag rugby. We met before I personally started playing tag rugby.
How did you meet?
Work. He was my boss. That's a whole other podcast.
Oh my god, please do one with Alex. Please do one with Alex.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You're working on
it, yeah.
convincing him.
Yeah.
AKA like threatening him.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. The next time he messes up and he's like, babe, I'm sorry, be like, if you're sorry, you'll come upstairs and record this podcast with me for the next hour.
I think he does want to come on and talk about all of the times he scared me, you know, the
Scare Claire.
Yeah, Scare Claire.
Yeah, this is something you've been talking about doing for like a year and a half now, where Alex records compilations of him scaring you, and I think it would be a great video.
Yeah. So he's interested in doing that now, so I'll get him on to talk about how we met as well. But yeah, so let's talk about how we met, because it was through USI. Union Students in Ireland, I guess, for people who don't know, is like it's like a union for any college that has chosen to join.
Yeah.
And then the elected student union politicians from those campuses like basically feck off somewhere for a weekend, and then they like pass motions, and I'm talking now about the weekend ones, you know, the ones every 6 weeks.
National Council?
National Council, yeah. And then that was how me and James became really friendly, because we spent a lot of time together at all those different ones.
We spent 2 weeks was it a week or 2 weeks in Galway training?
Yes. Oh, and pink training. There's loads of different trainings. Like, so we would have been together every 6 weeks for National Council.
Yeah.
Then there was Congress, which is a year long, once a year.
A year long?
Did I say year long?
Yeah.
Sorry, a week long. It felt like a year long.
Sometimes, yeah.
It was a week long, once a year, and then there was like pink training was one, which was, I think, the time where possibly we really bonded. I know that that's the girls. That's when I really got involved with them. Yeah. Because it was LGBT like training, and it was possibly the first time that I had really been exposed to any of that, really, because I was from Mayo, like I knew a few people, but like not really anything. Do you know what I mean? So it was the first time that it was like, well, actually, people have to deal with being treated like this all the time.
Yeah.
And when you say these different phrases, that's not okay. Like I would have grown up saying like, oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
And then a pink train would have been like, oh fuck, I'm not. You know what I mean?
But even something so simple as in pink training where they give everyone a name badge, and it wasn't something they did for our first one, but as it went on, it as kind of transgender and gender fluidity kind of became more of a spotlight issue. Each year now at pink training, everyone has a name badge, and underneath that it's like, call me he, call me she, call me him.
Oh, that's cool.
Her, other, none, which I love. I can't stand when people do that thing where they're like, well, what do I call them? Like, sorry, did you not do Leaving Cert English? Just say they.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
It annoys me. It really grinds my gears. I mean, yeah, I really love student union activism and that sort of thing. And
yeah, I was mad into it.
It's important to note that whether or not your college is a member of the Union Students in Ireland, they still fight for your rights.
True.
You just don't get the benefits as a member. So if you do ever have a membership vote in your campus, it's really important that you go out and vote first off at all.
Yeah, either way.
But it's like an extra $5 onto your student contribution fee, and let's be fair, the majority of you aren't paying your own student contribution fee because of the USI, because they fought for your rights for free fees. Correct?
Yeah. I was protesting away. I mean,
This is an enlightening topic. You're talking
I do think it's really good. I'm just trying to think about your point where you're saying that even if you're not, they still fight for your rights, because they totally do.
Yeah.
Because it's like stuff gets passed in Congress or whatever that they take a stance on things.
Yeah.
But it's often stuff you're going to agree with, like the fact that they eventually vote that they were going to say like we should have a referendum for gay marriage, wasn't that the end?
Oh yeah. I mean, any form of politics in third level education is the future of politics, whether that's like the young Fine Gael society or Labour Youth or Ogra for Fianna Fáil or anyone else. Like Ogra for Fianna Fáil, and I'm not affiliated with Fianna Fáil at all. I'm not gonna shoot myself with that bullet. I am not associated with them, but I remember one of my friends telling me that I remember one of my friends telling me that Ogra passed a bill to support marriage equality 10 years before Fianna Fáil did.
Damn.
So if you think about it, right, Ogra, you're under 18 and let's say you're like 16. By the time you're 26, you'd be like a senior member and you can run and you can say to, like, for the last 10 years I have been canvassing for marriage equality. Like, I love that so much. I love that there is a way for young people to get involved in politics. And now there's the ISSU.
Oh my god, yeah, what
the Irish
is that?
Secondary School Student Union.
Okay.
And there's people there
getting involved at that level. Jesus.
I love that. Like,
well,
they
that's
fight
pretty
for
good
secondary school rights.
Yeah, because I remember in college we would kind of say that the only problem with student union politics was that sometimes people like me didn't know it was a thing until too late. Like I didn't find out it was a thing till like my last year.
Yeah.
When then I just like ran for vice president. But geez, so if you're getting involved at secondary school level, you can kind of make that transition. That's pretty good. Like
I'm studying multimedia now as a mature student, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of 17-year-olds who I want to punch in the face continuously.
You probably shouldn't put that out on the internet.
Lads, if any of you are watching, you all know I hate you. There's 80 of them. They all know I hate them. I'm the grumpy old man, and we have to do a load of group work. And whenever they're stuck with me,
weird mature student, or is Niall the weird mature student?
I don't know who Niall is. Never heard of her. But I'm the one who's like, look, all I'm asking for is like absolute perfection. So
all I'm asking is that you stop drinking your Red Bulls. And having your good time, okay? And just like just work. But
last week, unfortunately, a couple of them failed, and I said straight away to them, just failed the first semester exams. Unfortunately, they failed.
Some of them failed due to their inadequacy.
I did not fail.
Yay!
I mean, a couple of modules it's really cutting it close. But one of them was like, I'm after failing, what do I do? I was like, have you spoken to the Students' Union yet? And they were like, the people who organise nights out.
Yeah, you see, that's exactly the misconception.
No.
So, just to smash that misconception, we're going to tell you about a number of times that we've been on nights out.
So
our first story about student union. What is your first story?
Oh, okay. First story is National Council. One of the 6. Is it 6? Was it 6 weekly? Or?
I feel like it was 6 weekly.
Every 6 weeks we'd meet up.
Because sometimes it worked out monthly and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was 6 weeks.
Yeah. So we'd go there on the Friday. On the Friday, we'd meet up on the Friday evening, and we'd the welfare officers would meet together, the presidents would meet together, the education officers would meet together, and they'd work out specific strategies. After that, everyone would go have a few drinks and something to eat, and that was completely on our own dime, and that's one of the big misconceptions about students' unions and USI is that you're getting pissed on my money. No, bitch, I'm not getting pissed on your money.
Pissed on my own.
You don't have money. You're a student.
Burn.
And
don't get offended by that, because James is now currently a student and has no money. So
why do I look like this? Because I'm poor. So.
Although to be fair, I'm not a student and I also have no money. So.
And she also looks like this.
I also look like this.
So we had our council, and afterwards we had our dinner and we were having a few drinks, and this was at this hotel in Sligo, and it was in the middle of nowhere, so we weren't near a town to go to a bar for drinks. So we're like, right, let's just drive to a Tesco, get some drinks, come back, and we'll all just drink in one person's room. So we all drank in one person's room.
I'm remembering where the story is going.
We all got a little bit hammered, and this is actually funny enough at the time of, remember Bridie Green? Every bit of land we have is covered.
Yeah.
So it was a whole room of hyper welfare officers just all going, every bit of land. And eventually.
I'm sorry, this is a quick aside.
Yeah.
Memes used to be so much better.
Yeah.
They used to be so much more all-consuming, and when you found a good one, everyone knew, and went on and on, that whole room the whole night. Every bit of land we have.
It's because that was we're gonna sound like such old people, but back in my day there was only one meme at a time. There was only
one meme at a time though. Fuck's sake.
Next week on Storytime Podcast, memes.
Back in
one at a time.
So continue. My apologies.
Okay, no, that's okay. That was a great transition. So that led to nowhere. So we were all eventually everyone else joins us in the room, all hammered, having a great night, and the welfaries get really hyper. We're all like, oh my god, we noticed on the way back from Tesco that this hotel, it was in an old castle, and we all noticed that there was this beautiful big bell tower. We were like, we have to find the top of the tower. Hammered. So we start running around the halls. At this point, somebody calls security, because obviously there's a bunch of 19-year-olds running around the hotel screaming, where's the tower? So we're running around, right? And a security guard is at the end of this massively long corridor. What's that movie with the twins and they're like, play with us? What's that?
Ooh, I don't
Shining?
know.
No, it's not. We're gonna get eaten alive for that. But it was this big long corridor you'd see from a horror movie. And so I grabbed Claire. Everyone scarpers off in different directions because there's only 2 security guards and there's 14 of us. And I grab you and I'm like, my room is right here. Grab the card, put it in, open up. We go in. Now these are suites, so that makes it sound so fancy. It wasn't. It was there was a little sitting room, and then there was a bedroom off of the sitting room. So we walked in the hall.
Yeah, there was kind of a sitting room that had a crap couch, and then it was kind of, I'd say there were kitchen cupboards, but they weren't really.
No, they were empty.
It wasn't fancy. It was real low budget.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. But we go in, right, and the person I was sharing the room with was asleep, and he was male. Is male, still is. Congratulations on not changing your gender. Good for you. So we're in the sitting room, and I turn on the lights, and I turn around and I'm like, why does it smell? It smells like nappies in here. Diapers for you Americans. And Claire looks at the table and she goes, James, which one of you is wearing high heels? And I look, these pink sparkly high heels, and I turn around and there's a crib, a baby's crib in the bedroom. And the next thing I hear a rustle from the bedroom, and I go, this is not my room.
And then the two of us, oh my god, the shits up us, we fucking legged it.
So it turns out,
terrifying.
This hotel that will go completely unnamed in case one of us, that's fair, in case you get a sponsorship from them in the near future, or in case they're hey, you can have your wedding for free here.
Yeah, in case they're hey, stop sliding us off on your podcast.
Well, yeah, to be fair now, if they give you the free room, make sure the keys work.
Yeah.
What happened was, the room we went into was directly below my one.
So
and
we were on the wrong floor, but
the key let me in.
Yeah.
The key let me in.
Do you know, I've done some reading about that since, and just randomly, and
Bored much.
and And I read an article that somebody accused hotels of just giving stock key cards that work in every room.
Because no one would have the cheek to go to someone else's room.
No one would think to try someone else's card.
We heard it here first. It works.
Yeah, there was some journalist that like exposed a hotel for it or whatever. But that must have been what it was. But it was like, it was the moment when you said, oh my god, it's not my room, and then we heard someone get up in the bedroom. I like nearly shat.
Oh, I thought I was going to die. I was like, this is how we die.
Scary.
Yeah.
And like, I feel bad because they were probably like, someone broke into a room. They might have been really
they were probably just as fearful as us.
But like, it was an accident and we were terrified. Like, it's like a spider. He's more scared of you than you are him. We were more scared of those people in that room than they were of us. 100%.
But I'd say they were pretty afraid because they had their baby.
Possibly, yeah.
They had their baby there with them.
You would be scared if you were in a like a hotel room in the night and you heard somebody, because you'd be like, oh my god, my phone, my camera, my lights.
My life.
My lights.
What?
That might be very YouTube specific.
Yeah! Hashtag YouTube problems.
Yeah.
Right, so do you have stories or am I just continuing with mine?
No, go on.
Okay, so
the stories are kind of shared. Well, sorry, the USI stories are kind of shared, but you have your own stories now to tell, don't you?
Yeah, I have like SU related stories. Like, that was a USI story. Do you have a USI story?
Not one as good as that.
Sorry.
That is honestly one of my favourite USI stories.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a real cocoon, isn't it?
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, when you come out of student politics, you're like, man, I don't give a shit.
So true.
And like, not in a harsh way, but you know, because like, it's the same the way people our age are kind of like, they don't care about student fees now because they've had their free education. And we shouldn't be like that, really. We should still be fighting for everyone.
But we should also definitely note this.
I remember it was the most important thing in my life.
Yeah. But it was your job.
Yeah,
it was your job.
Yeah.
I think this should be noted as well. We continuously get asked to come to Pink Training to do workshops every year, but it's never a long enough notice. So if you're listening to this and you're going to Pink Training or you're part of your university's LGBT society, say it to your welfare officer and or your LGBT officer that you want James and Clare to present.
I like
the
that you
workshop.
included me in that. I don't think I've ever been asked.
Oh. Well, I want you there. That's like, awkward.
Oh.
Well, I've hosted 3 workshops at Pink Training. Pardon me. And they were shit. No one came to them. Everyone was like, oh, there's that guy who made shy Irish gay say. We thought the girl might be here. No, bye.
Aww. I actually do have one story about Pink Training.
Pink Training.
I loved Pink Training.
Yeah.
It really was, I guess the first. But there is something that I wanted to say to you actually for quite some time and to everyone else who was like at that.
God.
Pink Training was my first real experience of
gay culture,
of LGBT issues. Like, I didn't get that. Like, I got that people kind of were mean to people in the country. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I didn't, at that point in my life, nobody down in my town had come out. So I hadn't seen firsthand any of the negativity or anything. So I really came into it totally blind. And Pink Training really did open my eyes and it got me to meet loads of new people. But I think back sometimes and I feel like there's a lot of things from that weekend. I think that's where we really, really made good friends. Yeah. And we really bonded that weekend. And part of it was because like I would say stuff and you would find it really funny. But I've thought back now and I've been like, that shit that I said was not PC, man.
Yeah, but you know, like
I didn't mean to be offensive and I think everybody understood that, but I would never say it now.
Yeah, but that's because you know now.
Yeah.
Pink Training, and it's also because it was said with 100% innocence. And I knew that it was said with innocence. Yeah. You know?
Because I was thinking back and I was like, James obviously must have known, like, because otherwise why wouldn't he have gotten annoyed? So I was like, he must have known that, because at the time, like, you knew I was joking. Claire, you knew I didn't mean it.
You were a small girl who was very angry. I mean, part of me was like, maybe she's a lesbian. I don't know. You still can't let like a particular part of your audience, because I know the gays and the lesbians do love you, so like, you know, you have to still keep them hooked a little.
Oh yeah.
Like, show a bit of shoulder sometime.
Yeah, I shot a Google autocomplete Q&A today and the like top search was this Clisare gay. And I was like, should I finally address it?
Why don't you do like a sweater on your spreadshirt, or what do you use? Do you use spreadshirt?
Teespring now.
Excuse me, sorry. Your Teespring. Why don't you do it on your Teespring where it's like gay ... question mark.
Nice. Yeah.
You can always turn it around at that stupid old secondary school joke where you're like, no, I mean happy.
Oh, God. So yeah, that is what I have to say.
I like that. I like that. That's a nice one. And if you are preparing to go to university and you're part of a college that offers, is a member of USI, get involved with your LGBT society. I know that a lot of people automatically dismiss LGBT societies because they think it's just going to be a room of people going, "Yes, Queen." That might be true in certain cases.
Yeah, but it's always fun.
Yeah, yes, Queen. No, but I mean, there is a lot of internal homophobia, especially when it comes to in finding yourself and figuring out who you are. There are examples of people, especially from negative experiences like in secondary school, that you don't want to be and that you're afraid of being or afraid of even being around or associated with. That's not what LGBT society is about, and that's not what university or college is about. That shit is not accepted in college from day one.
And I think the great thing about USI is that trainings like that bring students from all over the country together.
Friends
and again,
life, yeah.
That's how we met. Because it was students from all over the country came to the one training.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
It's lovely.
You have some singular stories that I am not involved in. For once.
Wait, that was bitchy. Yeah.
No, I mean because I'm always in your face.
Okay. Sorry, earlier on I actually texted you and asked you where your house is, and you were like, "Excuse me, how do you not know where my house is?" It was like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Am I Joe Burton now?
Vincent. Sorry, Mariah.
If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link down.
Our face swap video. That's my boyfriend's favourite video.
I watched it the other day and I was crying.
He says to me, he always goes, "Do you know what my favourite video of yours is, James? The face swap." And I'm like, "That's not my video. I'm not getting money for that. Shut up." So yeah, it's actually a good transition there, talking about homophobia. Like, I went to college in GMIT, the Mayo campus, and it's like a 1,000 student campus. It's tiny. It's in an abandoned mental institution, prison type of thing.
In Clisare, right?
Yeah, and my office is what used to be a padded cell. And like at night, yeah, at night, like the wind would blow and you'd be like, I'm gonna die.
Oh, hard pass.
Yeah. And I ran for a student union election there. I was legitimately called, and it was in no way rude or offensive, I was legitimately known as the only gay in the village, because out of 1,000 students, it was considered a very local college. You know, like
also
half,
it's
half of the student body, more than half the student body, were from the local area.
Yeah, I feel like when we were in college age, it was kind of like, it was easier to be yourself maybe further away from home.
Oh god, yeah. I lived 6 counties away. It was great. I was out for a year before my parents knew. It was fucking brilliant. But when I ran, I actually came out to my parents. I knew that I was going to run for Students' Union, and I wanted to not have to worry about anything else, because I knew it was going to be a tough time. And so that was like, it was actually the day after my first Congress finished with USI that I came out to my parents.
Wow.
And
was it to do with Congress, or did you just come home
I came back from Congress like feeling really like liberated.
Yeah, that was the real feeling.
I saw at the time the president of the Union of Students in Ireland was gay. The president of 2 of the students' unions were gay. 2 of the presidents were bisexual. There was gay welfare officers. Like, I didn't just see what I'd seen at Pink Training, where it was just a pile of gay people having fun. At Congress, I saw people who were leaders who so happened to be gay, and that was huge. Inspirational for me to see, and I was like, I want to do that, and I have nothing to be afraid of, because half those people are shit. And I'm only messing. But I was like, I want to do that. And look how happy they are, and look how respected they are. Like, people made speeches and got standing ovations. People passed
I know exactly what you mean. Congress did the same for me, but with chicks.
Felt so good. Yeah. There's so many women in power there as well, and people, mature students, and people with disabilities, and people who aren't from Ireland.
Yeah.
All there. Like, and they're equals.
And it's amazing as well how it opens your eyes to other issues and not just your own. So like disability was one thing that I just never would have thought about. And after Congress you're like coming back going, we need to like, you know, do more.
Ramps everywhere. Need a ramp to that ramp now. So yeah, I came out to my parents and then I was like, right, like a week after, whenever like the dust had settled, the fairy dust had settled, I told them I was going to run for election, and they were really concerned, obviously, because they were like, well, you're gay, like this could be really dangerous, like you're doing this in Mayo. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Ran for it and ran against two of my best friends, and it was such a fun election because it was the three of us and we would go out canvassing
and
together.
You weren't going in on each other,
No, and it was really lovely.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, I'm sure you'll agree with me, for students' union elections for it to not get bitchy.
Yeah, well, it's like real politics. I mean, it's like it's a training ground for real politics.
Absolutely. And so I, on the day of the election, I got a text from one of my team and they were like, come to here now. And I came to there and they were like, okay, you cannot freak out about this. They had pulled down about 7-8 posters where people had like written homophobic words, slurs, drawn penises, of course, all over my posters.
Oh Jesus.
And I remember we went into a classroom that was empty and I had a little bit of a cry. I think part of it was obviously because that was really sad, but also because it was like so much pent up tension from an election.
From the election.
And I took pictures of the posters and posted them up, and
on Facebook
on my campaign page, and I was like, the people who've done this obviously don't want me to run for election. This is proof that anyone who doubts me needs that I am not going to let personal issues get in the way of what I am going to do if elected.
Yep.
And that evening I got 2/3 of the total vote. Yeah, 60. I think I got 60.
And do you think that had to do with it, or you were just careering towards a win anyway?
I don't know, and it was tough.
I'd say you were probably careering towards one anyway, but it just.
I win or lose, it was important for me to say that, and it was important for me to say that before the end. To not be the sore loser or the dick winner. It was the dick winner. Be a great drag, like a name for a drag queen. Hi, I'm Dick Winner.
Losing and winning in a productive manner is a very important part of the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's nothing worse than like a sore loser or a sore winner.
Oh, I think a fucking dick winner is way worse.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're like, I didn't vote for you, but I don't feel like I can come to you about anything now, you dick.
Yeah, that's very true, actually.
Wouldn't like it. But yeah, homophobia was unfortunately alive and well on that campus. That said, I do feel like, well, I'd hope at least I helped change it a little.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I founded the campus's LGBT society. I ran the campus's first Rainbow Week. We called it Straight Against Hate because I was the only gay. So I was like, right, well, this is everyone else's campaign.
That's now a big campaign in America, isn't it?
Oh, I probably stole it from them without realising.
Oh no, it's Fuck Hate I'm thinking of. Fuck Hate.
Don't sue me. Don't sue me, thanks. But yeah, I mean, as part of that, we did like a petition to be like, look, the most religious county in the country wants a referendum on marriage equality, and we got everyone to sign it. Even the campus chaplain signed it.
Wow.
Yeah. And while we were doing that, a woman made it her business to walk up to us and ask us what we were doing very loudly. And someone said it's a campaign for marriage equality for gay and lesbian people. And the second the word gay was said, she started screaming, going, no! And walked away and was like, dirty, evil. Yeah. Hi!
Whoa, Jesus, and this was only what, in 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
Is that long ago? Damn, back in our day.
We old.
It's the birthday coming up soon, don't talk to me.
What age?
29.
I'm 28.
That was the second most Googled question about me.
What age is she?
What age is Clisare?
oh look, I mean, I assume that's a compliment. They're like,
girl.
that 16-year-old girl is really annoying. Either that or like, she's ugly. No, she's annoying, but I'd still fuck her.
Oh,
what age is she?
I get a lot of that. Did you ever run for USI?
Yes.
So did I.
Yeah, I ran for LGBT officer, and it was an absolute, like, the Hindenburg disaster went better. Like, I did my speech at Congress, and all I could hear from the audience was like, oh, the humanity! Ah!
I think I could give you a run for your money. Now, I didn't have to do a speech in front of a room full of like people from all over the country.
Okay.
In your defence to make yours worse.
Right.
But my own college didn't vote for me. Arguably mine was worse.
Oh heavens, yes.
But well, yeah, so our experiences together have been through being elected in our respective colleges.
Yeah.
And working together through USI.
Mm-hmm.
God, it was so much fun, and it was really good, and we got some really good stuff done that year. I remember that year there was loads of protests about free fees, and we got your man, whatever his name was, Rory Quinn, to sign this promise. Which, I mean, he didn't honour the promise, but like, we held him off for a year or two.
Yeah, that's why we don't talk about it. we were like, yeah, we got Rory Quinn to sign in
and then break said contract.
Yeah.
A year and a half later, but whatever.
Wasn't it the next election he broke it?
Yeah, it was.
Thanks, Rory, babes.
Yeah, it made it about a year, man.
Yes. It was. I would say it's the most rewarding year. Like,
yeah.
You really go out of your way to help people, and whether you want to or not on certain days, you do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even realise it, but you do, which is even nicer.
And it's the first time I really cared about anything, pretty much.
Yeah.
First time I really cared about issues that did not directly affect
me. Yeah, that's like a massive thing.
Yeah, massive.
It's quite a big moment where you're like, I care about this and it has nothing to do with me. That was a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And that was our students' union is like a satellite students' union because we're not the main campus. We weren't the main campus, and I was only a part-time welfare officer. I got 80 quid a week. My rent.
Ouch.
My rent was 50 quid a week. I lived on €30. Like, that's how much I loved it though. And I did full-time hours. I loved it so much, and I was so passionate about it. I was like, I will help students no matter what, which was sometimes a bit of a downfall because the year after I finished, the privilege for the welfare officer on my campus to have a paid mobile phone was taken away because I ran up like 4 triple-digit bills over the course of my vice presidency, but every single one of them was from me calling abortion clinics in the UK to assist students who were experiencing a crisis pregnancy.
Oh my god. Okay,
Hashtag repeal the 8th.
Hashtag repeal the 8th. So I have a few questions about this one.
Okay.
So more than one student?
4.
4 students needed to go over and...
One decided to not go through with it, but that wasn't something I particularly cared about. She came to me she asked me for information on abortions.
Yeah,
and I said, give me an hour.
Hard to get,
I said, give me an hour. And this was when I was in the student bar. I had like a pint in me, and I was calling a fucking pregnancy centre in Liverpool, being like, hello,
can I get all your information please? Yeah.
Oh, and which is illegal. It's illegal to seek abortion. Well, it was at the time. I don't know if that's changed, but do you not remember that in our training? We were told by the rape crisis centre that if we're ever found to be seeking abortion for someone
or seeking abortion information, well, that's
so just for all records, the story I just told is satirical. Well, the abortion laws are a bit of a joke now, aren't they?
I'm definitely trying to do a Repeal the 8th podcast. I want to
passionate enough that you kick the microphone.
I want to get people who are willing to talk about their experiences, because illegal abortion does not stop abortion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh my god! Like, there's gonna be one person. There's gonna be one person in the comments who's like, "Abortion is murder."
Yeah, I know. I did a video, a jokey video about that, and then people were just like,
you weren't feeling it, were they?
Oh my god, no. Liberal cook.
Liberal eleganza.
James came in, he's like, what did Jumper say? And he thought I said liberal eleganza, and I was like, no, now I really wish it said liberal eleganza.
I would love. Have you noticed that since Donald's become president, that liberal's a bad word now? It's
yes.
like, oh, typical liberals.
Yeah.
Shut up, you Republican. That used to be, back in my day, Republican was a dirty word. It still is. If I hear someone say I'm a Republican, I'm like,
what did we call people in student politics? It was left
hacks.
and right, wasn't it? No, it was hacks, yeah, but if somebody leaned a certain way, it was left and right,
yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
it, left and
But
right.
everyone was fairly left of centre, really. Well, most people.
That's a great transition. Because my first ever Congress, NUI Galway Students' Union had passed an internal motion to support equal marriage rights for gay and lesbian people, and this was before civil partnership even existed. Yeah, this is 2010. Civil partnership wasn't until 2011.
Okay.
I'm a bad gay if that's
But
not true.
it probably was in the works.
Right.
Yeah.
But NUI Galway were like, well, no, it shouldn't be in the works because it's not good enough. Separate but equal is not equal. And they decided to bring it to Congress to get every students' union in the country to mandate to campaign, because obviously it strengthened numbers.
Grassroots, yeah.
My students' union told me on the way to my Congress that they were going to vote for civil partnership because they felt it was good enough, and that I had to vote to agree with that.
Yeah.
Which I hate party politics. I despise party politics. I think I would love for political parties and that sort of thing to just be abolished, and for a much more intricate system to come into place, which we most certainly didn't have time to talk about.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
But the outgoing LGBT officer was taking questions. The Union of Students Ireland outgoing LGBT officer was taking questions. I literally had a hand up in the air straight away, took the microphone and was like, do you think that civil partnership is good enough, and do you think that a gay person accepting civil partnership is good enough? And she said no and no. And when she said no, I just turned to my whole union. None of them gay. I turned and just looked at my whole union as I sat down and just handed the microphone back. And the next day they voted in favour of marriage equality.
Well, that's really good that they turned around like that.
I turned them.
Yeah, see, that's the hard thing, I think, when, because of like this, how the system works, you feel like you have to vote against your moral fibre. That's rough. That we had a similar situation, I think, the same year, and we did the same. So there was a lot of we'd been mandated to vote against that motion, and there was a bit of backlash, and then we ended up changing it.
I just want to put this out there now. If even one person who voted against that progress hears this, if even one of those people then went on to vote yes to marriage equality but had said no to it, please, in the future, when you instantly make your mind up about someone else's rights, think about how in the space of 4 years you completely flipped your ideals and made history.
Yeah.
Think about that.
It's like such a good, nice pointer. You made it. It's dangerous. Think about it, yeah?
You tick.
Yeah?
You're a freak.
So have we any more student union politics stories?
The Straight Against Hate week, because I was the only gay, I was like, we have to bring like some
You had to go get more gays.
No, I made it even better. I was like, we're going to do a blind date night where we play the game show Blind Date, and I'm the date, and 3 straight guys have to compete for my love. There was a cash prize that had nothing to do with it. It was for my love, I swear.
It was for his love.
And that was like on the Tuesday night.
Shift?
On the no. I was the only gay in the village. I got loads of straight girls shifting me, which I mean tided me over, but like it was like eating a salad without like dressing. You're like, I'm just eating to like keep myself going. It's like, I'm not enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know when there's like crackers but there's no cheese and you're just like, ugh, this is salty and dry and just doesn't feel right in my mouth. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, no, but yeah, okay.
Just think about eating dry crackers.
That's an amazing way to put shifted women.
Crackers.
To describe shifted women, yeah, I love it.
I did not love it, I can assure you. But that was like on the Tuesday night, and then on the Thursday night we got married. We had a gay marriage.
We did one of the marriages there too as well.
Oh yeah, you just had like a proper like wedding. That's a yearly thing now, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, the wedding arch, and it's always like made of balloons and yeah. We just had ours in the corner of a nightclub. Just that's all.
Yeah, I loved DOT. I'm gonna say it came up on my Facebook memory thing the other day from back when I did. It was Shag Week right about now.
Right.
And every year.
Right, no, before you do anything else, please explain what Shag Week is.
Shag Week, Sexual Health and Guidance Week. So it's like a week of, the Students' Union put together workshops and classes and teaching you how to, have safe sex, teaching you about STIs. Like
consent as well has become such a massive part of them now, which I love.
Back then it wasn't. No. And then it was like, look, you can get free STI checks. But nobody, it was tough work to get people to the workshops and stuff.
Oh my god.
But it was very easy to get them to the events.
Yeah.
So one of the events was the Shag Ball. And I remember it keeps coming up on my Facebook and reminding me every year that to promote this Shag Ball, I dressed up as a fairy and sat on a giant dick.
We've all been there. Sounds like a night in the George.
Okay, maybe I should give some context.
No.
It was like one of those, those bucking
balls
that you go off, but it was dick shaped. So I sat on one of them, and first of all we had one of them at the event. So to promote it, then I was photoshopped to be sitting on it because we haven't got it yet, and I was like in my fairy costume, like on this big giant dick, and I might actually put a picture of it.
It's so funny. One of my friends the other day was asking me where they could get a bucking bronco dick. So just for my friend, could you tell me where I could get one of those?
Yeah, I'll have to get in touch with some people we worked with at the time to figure it out. But I'm sure you could Google big bucking bronco dick.
Can we please get that for your hen?
That'd be good, actually. Unless I broke another wrist, and then people would be like, "How'd you break your wrist?" I was on a big bucking bronco dick.
As well as that, because of the cast, you couldn't wear white. Because how many times have you had a cast now? Walking up the aisle, and someone would be like,
I didn't get that joke.
Walking up the aisle. When people wear white at their wedding, walking up the aisle.
Virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your arm is no fucking virgin. Walking up the aisle and you just hear someone going, that cast is white. Bitch, shiver.
Yeah, I wouldn't get a white cast.
What colour cast would you get to go with a wedding dress?
See, this is the thing. I wanted to get married in March, and it's looking like we're going to have to get married summertime.
March isn't great for getting married because it's lousy March weather. Oh my god. Right. Okay, well anyone who watches The Simpsons will understand that joke. What's wrong with you?
So yeah, but summer's peak tag time, so Alex is like, you might have to have an 8-week tag ban because otherwise you're gonna be you might be walking up the aisle with a cast or on crutches. I'm like, yeah, you might be right. This is the year of no injuries. It's fine.
This isn't the year of no injuries.
That happened in 2016. Excuse you, me.
Alright, okay, sure, Jan.
So but, no injuries so far in 2017, and we're already in February.
Isn't Alex injured as well, though?
No injuries for me.
No, but isn't Alex? But didn't Alex get injured from tag?
Yes.
Well, then he'll have to take a 6-week break as well, because you're not marrying someone dragging one leg up the aisle. I don't think you want to marry someone in a
Limpy Limperson.
I take the Limpy McLimperson. No, but I can't imagine you wanting to be like, here comes the bride, and then beep, 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 coming up in a fucking mobility scooter.
Why do you think the groom would come second? That's my question for that story.
I suppose the thing is, no matter which order the groom comes in, he's going to steal the show. Yeah. Although he'll carrying you down the aisle would be fucking hilarious.
As if. He can't carry me now.
No, on the mobility scooter. Oh. You in the basket at the front like E.T.
Yeah, that'd be good actually.
I'd laugh. Make a great video. What? Oh yeah, this is completely off topic. But are you planning on is there plans to film the wedding or... There
will be something going up on YouTube, yes, but I'm trying to find somebody, and this is not this was actually not a planned question, but I'm trying to find somebody who knows how to make a YouTube video rather than a wedding video. Do you know what I mean?
I'll do
If you're a wedding videographer who
I'll
knows
do
how
it.
to make something fun for YouTube,
I'll just do it. You can just pay me in like a dinner.
I was kind of hoping to get my friends to do stuff on top of.
What she's trying to say is she was hoping to get me as bridesmaid, and she can't have a bridesmaid running
Can't
around with a
ask you here
camera.
on the podcast.
Also,
like, you know,
I would look way better as flower girl, let's be fair.
as a flower girl.
Why are you saying that with like a disbelief tone in your voice?
Do you know what a flower girl is?
Yes. The girl who walks up the aisles throwing flowers.
Yeah, but they have to be like 8 or under.
You saying I couldn't pass for 8 or under?
They
What a
definitely couldn't pass.
bitch. What a bitch. I'm done with this podcast. Vote no to USI. No. Vote yes.
Okay, we are getting off topic, but that was
Just a
lot
tad.
of fun. That was a lot of fun. So we met 8 years ago?
That's crazy.
Couldn't have been 2010 then. It must have been 2009. Because I met you... No, I met Alex before you, and I'm almost with Alex 9 years. So
No, it was
must have
8
been
years. Yeah, it was 2010. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's only 2017 now. The thing was 9-10, the term.
Ah, yes.
Starts in September. Forgot about that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
8 years.
Fuck.
Girl.
Well, I mean, you were going to Australia for 1 year.
Yeah, so technically that doesn't count.
I don't know if you remember this, but we had like an online fight like a week after you went to Australia.
No.
And didn't talk to each other until you came back. And do you know what the worst part was? It was over Pope Benedict.
Fuck off.
So, Pope
I
Benedict...
don't remember this at all.
Pope Benedict was the first pope to join Twitter. I screenshot the fact that he joined Twitter and posted on Facebook and was like, fuck off, Pope Benedict, your whole system is corrupt. And you were like, here, he's just joining to like get the message out to like younger followers. And you and I just engaged in this like, he's shit, and you were like, nah. And at one point I was like, he's a homophobe because he says that gay people are a disgrace. And from that, basically from something I said either was like pushed out wrong or you picked it up wrong, different wavelengths basically, and you replied and you were like, did you just imply I'm a homophobe, James? How dare you, right? So at the end of this comment you were like, I am logging off now. So like I replied and was like, I'm not calling you a homophobe, get the fuck over it, right? You didn't reply because you had logged out. So I was like, she hasn't logged out, she's totally still there. So I messaged you on Facebook, I'm like, I didn't call you a homophobe, get over it, right? You had just gotten a new Australian phone because you were there for the long haul. I text your Irish number and was like, I didn't call you a homophobe, get over it. And then
So I didn't get it.
you didn't get it. And I like tried for 4 days to get hold of your new number to tell you that I didn't call you a homophobe and to get over it, and I just gave up because I couldn't get off anyone. And I was like, well, fuck her then. And we didn't talk. I didn't message you at all when you were in Australia because I was like, what a bitch. And I was like, she hasn't messaged me because she thinks I think she's a homophobe.
I'm not Miss Parry, I don't remember any of this, and I'll tell you something for nothing. I was not fighting with you when I was in Australia.
That's hilarious.
As in, like, I obviously had that, but then
Let it go. You weren't yet.
because I never got your text and thought it was over with.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. So you thought we were fighting that whole year?
Whole year. And then you came back early and you did the video where you surprised all your friends, and I was like, she didn't surprise me. What a bitch.
Because I didn't know
But
where
it
you
actually
lived,
turns
and I
out
don't
you
care.
had messaged me and said, where are you living now? And I just took it as you like trying to rebuild a bridge. Rather than you trying to subtly get my address out so you could surprise me. But
hilarious.
and I was like, what a bitch, what a bitch.
And then because I remember I was under time pressure to put that video up because it was getting out that I was home, so I needed to.
That was a great video.
God.
That's actually one of the videos of yours I would recommend for anyone to watch.
I like that one.
Where's my giant spicy?
Joy Hand Spicy, yeah, very close.
So close.
That's what a spice bag is. It was our version of a spice bag. We invented it, and they just put it in a bag with chips and called it spice bag.
Do you know we should have bought a spice bag when we were doing this.
We should do we should do another one of these, and
I would
we should
love to.
we could do like more stories about me and you that have nothing to do with the OSI.
Yeah.
Each a spice bag and
I love that.
compare spice bags. The one in my local spice bag is not amazing, so we'd have to get it somewhere else.
There's a great place, and I'm always asked this whenever.
Yeah, where did you get your
because
spice
well, to be fair, like I put a music video of my channel about spice bags and everything, featuring Clisare. Because so if you hate me, you can still come watch it to get more Clisare. Thanks for the money. And the best advice everyone asks me whenever they meet me, or like constantly in comments, or whenever I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a Q&A video, the first question I get is always, where do I get a good spice bag?
That's amazing.
Rainbow Chinese on the north side, which is in Cabra, or Sun-Kissed. I know, but it's worth it.
I just mean because it's so far away.
Oh, south side Clonskeagh, Sun-Kissed.
Ooh. Okay, we've totally gone off the topic of USI, so we're gonna cut it there.
Yeah.
Ooh. I've got give me gas.
It's cotton candy vodka.
I was coming home from, and we actually will have to do a YouTube Stories podcast.
Okay.
Because we have so many stories.
Oh my god.
But we were in San Francisco together, and I was coming home and I had 2 bottles of this kind of like
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, but we will in the podcast.
Oh my god.
I had a bottle of cotton candy and I had a bottle of the other one.
The whiskey.
Yeah, two big bottles of vodka because we couldn't get them in small. Whipped cream.
I'm sure you had an issue with that.
Whipped cream vodka.
Ew.
Oh no, it's amazing when you mix it at 7-Up. It's amazing. It tastes
like cream
exactly
soda?
like it's fucking amazing. But I had half a bottle left of that and a full bottle of cotton candy vodka. And I was like, oh, I can't bring them both, so I'll obviously bring the full bottle. So I remember going up to the hostel and being like, I can't fit this in my bag. Does the hostel want a donation? And your man was like, hell yeah.
So you gave him whipped cream vodka?
Yeah, I gave him and it was over halfway full.
Fair play to you. That's lovely.
I wish we had whipped cream vodka here.
Yeah, that sounds good. I want to try it.
I'm already feeling hazy around the eyes. Okay, we're going to finish this.
Our ones, do you know if I come back, I think we should just call our one like procrastination. And we can do like a mini series within your series of podcasts where I just come on and we just talk about shite.
We just get like a random word given to us and then just podcast happens. Do you know that one word, we do word recognition.
Do you know what the funny thing is? For anyone thinking that this is like a disaster of a podcast, this is our friendship and this is how every conversation we ever have goes. Yeah. Ever.
And we met at USI. I managed to circle it back. Yes. Okay, shout out where you can be found online.
Yeah, James Mitchell TV, and you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Tumblr, Spreadshirt.
You still use your Tumblr?
When Instagram is like, where do you want to share this photo?
And thank you to Buddabag for the Buddabags.
Yeah, they're so comfy.
So comfortable.
And they're huge. It's huge.
You're right, the key is to keep your feet on the floor and then you don't slide out of it.
You look like so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes. Professional.
When I'm not recording a podcast, I don't get a look in, and these Millie owns this. My dog Millie owns this and I don't get to sit on it. She's locked downstairs now so I can get it for 20 minutes.
Oh, she wouldn't come in here anyway, she's afraid of me.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. We used to be best friends. I have a video of her shifting the face off me when I'm hungover on your couch.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you and Alex were in the kitchen fighting and making breakfast. And
sounds like us.
I was sitting on the couch and I had just gone, can I help with anything? And you were like, you sit there.
You sit down, you shut up.
Okay. And I was like on Snapchat and Millie came in and I started recording and she came right up and was like, and I was like, this is, and the caption was something like, closest thing to a shift I'm getting for the next week or something like that. And it was unfortunately true. Thanks, Millie.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I never called her back.
Oh, probably.
Men.
Subscribe to the podcast, follow on Twitter, check out James, his links are in the description. And if you want a YouTube Stories podcast, comment below. And if you want a just like me and James Stories podcast,
oh my god, we have way more Claire and James stories than YouTube ones.
Yeah, big time.
Jesus. Bye!
Don't forget to enter into the Union of Students in Ireland Student Achievement Awards by going to usi.ie/awards and selecting the award you wish to enter yourself or someone else into. All links are down below in the description and in the show notes on SoundCloud.